Well, obviously this entry is going to be a lot more scaled back than my last one. So, for those of you that have done the math, 13 months is a year and another month. I figure that's probably the best way to do it because I feel like 1 year and 1 month is going to sound a bit more tacky. And plus, there are just some people that just don't like fractions. So I'm just rounding up. So, you're probably wondering about this little bottle right here. This is actually one of my talking points. Starting in October, I'm on a new hormone right now. They call it progesterone, which, in terms of the effects of the transition process, it's basically like estrogen concentrate, kind of like how espresso is to coffee. The idea that they have very similar effects, but a bit more so. There are a few other effects I've noticed as well, being about a month on it. So the first thing is, I'm really hungry. All the time. Wow, I honestly feel quite sorry for my mother and the idea that she had to pay for this the first time around, and, well, now I'm paying for it the second time around. But at least I'm enjoying this one a lot better. This was something I was a little worried about at first, because I remember on the prescription bottle, as well as in all the research I did, progesterone has a likelihood of raising testosterone levels. And since I felt really hungry during male puberty, I was worried that my T levels were coming back. However, like wet dreams, being ravenously hungry is not exclusive to male puberty. Yeah, there's a lot that sex ed really failed me on. So in addition to being really hungry all the time, I have noticed there's a little bit more of chest development going on. Maybe this is just wishful thinking, but I feel like there's a little more volume now. But probably two of the biggest things. So this is something that's taken in the evening. And the main reason this is that progesterone is known to make you very sleepy. And I will admit, I have gotten some pretty good night's sleep since I've started this regimen. But probably one of the other really good side effects as well, I'm not sure if maybe this is just me having a lot more confidence in myself or if it's finally sinking in what I'm actually doing, but since starting progesterone, there are just so many times I'll just crack up into a smile for no reason. I'll just be like insanely happy for some reason. I don't know what it is, but hey, I think this is nice. After all, I think it's better to wonder why you're so happy rather than wondering why you're so depressed. That's probably another thing to mention as well. Well, I have honestly been like really happy. I mean, sure, long days I get tired. There are some days I get bored, but for the most part, I'm just generally a lot happier than I used to be. And now it's weird. I just kind of go in the work, and everyone else is just like, another Monday. When is the weekend gonna be over? Will the sun ever come again? And I'm just kind of going in there with a neutral look on my face, but on the inside I'm just going, it's a great day to be alive again. So I almost feel a little guilty about being happy because it seems like everybody I know of is going through really bad bouts of depression right now, but two other big things to mention. So, starting at the very tail end of September, I first started to get laser hair removal on my face. Now, if none of you have gone through this process before, I'll give you just a basic idea of what'll happen. So, the way it's done for me is that it's 10 sessions, one per month, where they do the entire face. They also wanted me to get the back of the neck as well in case I wanted to wear my hair up, but not only was the hunger really striking in at that point, but just kind of the overall nervousness of the process. I'm just like, nope, I'm good. I'll just shave the back of my head. I'm kind of regretting that choice now, but there's a lot more people that's going to see the front of my face than the back of it. But anyway, how it works is that they have this laser pen, and out of it comes this jet of really cool air. And as it goes over the hair, it's just going to singe it a little bit. So if you know what burning hair smells like, get used to that smell while you're in the room. So it just kind of goes along, and as it gets a little thicker, it gets a little more painful. Like, the best way to describe the pain is if somebody took like a rubber band and just kind of went on your face. It's not unbearable, but there are a few sections where it's just kind of like, okay, I need a breather right now. And because of the cool air, it's kind of hard to get around the nose area because there's just forced air going into your nose and you're trying to figure out how to breathe while doing that. But the second time around, I was less nervous and, well, I actually prepared that I was going to be quite hungry, so I had a snack and I was perfectly fine throughout the procedure. But one thing I will say about the two times, so the first time I went in there, I was really happy because for like the next day, my face was like baby smooth. It was just fantastic. It gave me a nice preview of what this was going to be like in the future, and I'm just really happy about that. The second treatment, though, which happened not too long ago actually, it seemed like it's like the hair started to come back in a few areas. It's hard to tell from this far away because the light is peeling out my face and I'm kind of far away. But this is perfectly normal. See, the basic process is it's going to singe the follicle, and then after that process, the hair is going to slowly push its way out, and then once it does, it falls out and it won't grow back again. So, it's for those few sections I think it's actually doing that. The only problem is it gets pretty itchy after both treatments, and you really have to watch out for that because your skin is going to be pretty sensitive. Well, for all intents and purposes, you just put it through a blowtorch. I only have two more things to mention. So, the first one. I came out to my cousins. I figure I'll tell the whole story. I'll tell you it's a happy ending if that makes it any easier for you. So the main thing was, I know I'm going to have to tell the extended family about this. And in a family where sarcasm is our language, and on top of that, a lot of us are ballbusters, as the term is. And I was worried this was going to be something that was just going to fuel the fire. I figured probably the best way to do it is just to start with my cousins, since they're the closest to my age, and, well, I have a feeling they're probably going to be a lot more understanding than, well, their parents are. I called all of them up. Thankfully, everybody was available, and in fact, when I was there, it was actually the perfect weekend to be able to do so. It was like the one time that everybody was available. So I called them all up and basically said I needed to tell them something important, and I wanted to do it at a pizzeria that is very fond to all of us. My older brother used to go there all the time with the cousins, and he would often take me. We just have a day of it. We got there, and there was just a lot of conversations, mostly about politics, and it's really nice to be able to be with people that have the same views. I'm just going to end it at that. I'm not going to say what my views or their views are, because in this day and age, having an opinion is enough to get you flagged or something. After a little while, one of my cousins kind of looks at me and it's like, so, what did you want to tell us? Which I was pretty thankful for, because in all honesty, the conversation back and forth was really fierce. I'm just kind of like trying to figure out how to get a bite in edgewise. But I just laid everything out on the table. I just basically said, I'm transgender. And I just kind of waited for the response, and they were just kind of like, okay. Is that it? I kind of thought this would be a little more shocking. And yeah, what they said honestly kind of had me on the verge of tears, and the idea that they said, you're still going to be part of this family. As long as you're happy and you're not hurting anybody, we don't care. In fact, we'll even help you out if you need it. Even now, it still kind of fills me up with a little bit there. but it's a good kind of crying. It's not like Leonardo DiCaprio died in the Titanic. No, it's more like I can't think of any stereotypically happy crying moments, but there's probably one out there somewhere, and that's what I'm trying to say. I was a little nervous at first because they were saying you'll always be old name. I don't like to use the term dead name because I don't know. That just seems a little too extreme for me. So they called me the old name, and I'm just like, it's Julia now. And they're just like, all right. It turned out to be a lot easier than I thought. I've probably said this in other videos, but when it comes to telling people about this, don't beat around the bush. Just jump right into it. People are just going to get confused if you try to use like abstract metaphors or try to sugarcoat the situation. Just simply say, I'm transgender. And then just be prepared for a bunch of questions or maybe even a little bit of outrage, but at least they will know, and that is the main thing to keep in mind. So, the other thing to mention as well, I have found a vocal therapist. I've only had one lesson so far, but I feel like there is actually a little improvement. Maybe if you were to watch the last video and then watch this one, you might hear a bit of a difference. But then again, the sinuses clogging up might actually be keeping it at a stable level. But it's all about strength, is what I'm finding, and I feel like my vocal muscles have gotten a lot stronger. Of course, I'm a lot more comfortable with talking now, so I think that's another perk. I'll end with this. So you'll notice that in all my other videos, I like to wear stereotypically feminine clothing. I felt like that was just kind of me overcompensating because I still looked so manly. At this stage, I feel a lot more confident in who I am, that I'm a bit more womanly looking now. So this is how I normally dress. Just a normal t-shirt and pants. At this point, it's definitely guy pants. If I want to be sexy, I'll wear girl pants, but I need pockets. And on top of that, I got a phone that's like this big now, and that doesn't fit in a pocket that's this big. So that's kind of my compromise. The only real annoying thing is, at this stage, I can dress either way, and people will still be like, can you get out of his way? All in good time. I mean, it's minor setbacks every so often, and yeah, it stings, but just imagine how much greater it's going to feel when they finally get it right. Well, till next time, be yourself, no matter who that is.